Alright, this is a video about changing the transmission oil in the Burgman 650. So first of all, you need the transmission oil. I'm using the Maxima transmission lube, which is suitable for 10W40 and also 80WT, which can be also used as a gear oil. But I'm just going to use this for transmission. I have an oil pump, which makes life so much easier, and I have a cat litter box which I use as an oil pan, and I also have a small mug which I use to drain the oil. Now first of all, step one, remove the rubber on the passenger foot peg. As you can see, there's 3 screws here, 1, 2, 3. Remove the screws. I'm going to pause the video so I can remove the screws, and I'll be back. Now after removing these screws, you need to grab a hex key H5. Alright, and there's 2 screws here, hex screws, one here and one just underneath next to the center stand. So I'm going to remove this, and then I'll show you, and after that it's pretty simple. You just pretty much just don't break the fairing like the previous owner of this bike did. So just be careful. This goes outward, so pull this out and push this in, and then gently remove the fairing. So I'll just remove the screws and I'll be back. Don't lose any of these screws. Keep them all together. And now first you need to pull this out. So pull this outward, and once this one comes out, then you can see it hangs here. So there's tabs up here as well, and as you can see, this tab here, it goes inside. So just push this inside and it comes out. Your center stand needs to be out. Okay, and this is the easy bit. Not that any of this is hard, but just, and if this fairing is not clean, make sure give it a good clean. Okay, once that one's out, no, mine is still stuck. Just a moment, I need 2 hands. Okay, so the side fairing is off. Now what we're going to do is, you see this long screw like thing. So this is the filler for the transmission oil. This is where the transmission is. This is where your wet clutch houses. Okay, so you got to remove this long screw like thing to put oil in the transmission, and you got to remove this one, which is the oil level bolt. So basically, when you put oil through here, I'll show you when it's out, and the oil starts flowing from here. That's the way you know that it's reached its level. Now the bolt, the drain bolt is underneath. So right where it says 360 mils, keep following it, and it's right here, the big one. I'll try to show you how it looks like. See this? That's this one's the oil drain bolt. So have to put the pan underneath first, and then drain the oil, and then remove this and this, and we're going to put oil through here with the oil pump, and then once it starts flowing from here, then we know it's full. So make sure after you drain the oil, you put the oil drain plug back in. Okay, so you're going to need an extension about this big, and you need a 10 millimeter socket plug, and then the 10mm is the size of this one here, the oil filler plug. Okay, so we're going to remove this. So on goes this one, anti-clockwise, and it's out. So I'm removing this one first, so that when I remove the oil drain plug, air goes through in here and the oil flows out easily. Okay, the pan is in place, and now to the oil drain plug, and it uses a H10. Okay, so hex key size 10 to remove that. Now I'm going to put that one in first, and then I'm going to put my 0.5mm. Oh, sorry, beg your pardon. This is not H10. This is actually H8, I think. Where is my H8? Oh, it's here. Okay, so it uses H8, not H10. Let's see. Yeah, that's the correct one. So it uses hex key size 8, H8. Alright, so I'm going to remove the oil drain plug and I'll be back. Okay, so I've loosened the oil drain plug. Now I'm just going to remove this. There you go. And as you can see, my oil is very clean. The reason I'm changing this oil is because I used a regular engine oil and the clutch started to slip and there were a lot of vibrations in the bike. So I decided to change that oil and use a proper transmission oil. So I can't stress this enough. Do not use regular engine oil, use proper transmission oil. Now you can get away with it by using engine oil, but down the line the friction modifiers in the engine oil will cause your clutch to slip and will cause vibrations in your bike. So use only the proper transmission oil. There's Motul Trans oil, or use the one that I'm using, which is Maxima Trans Lube. Okay, so it's 10W40 and they're not very expensive, and as you can see, clutch saver formula. So these are specially formulated for wet clutches. So with your oil drain plug, there's a magnet here, so give that a nice clean with a clean rag, and put that back in once the oil starts when the oil stops beg your pardon, stops draining. So it's still going few drops at a time, but I think our oil is completely drained. And you don't even have to read the manual to know how much oil goes in there. It says here it's 360 mils, as you can see right here, which needs a good clean as well. So get an oil pump, they're very cheap. Yeah, this one wasn't. This one was like $45 or something from a local auto store, but you can find one on eBay, I'm sure. And it also has measurements on the side in ml. If you're in US, it will probably have your different measurements, whatever you guys use there. Yeah, so 360 mils. So I'm going to put oil till 400 mils in here and then start pumping it, and once it stops flowing through here, which is the oil level plug, then I know that I've reached the level, and then I'll put this one back in. Oh, first of all, I need to put the oil drain plug back in, then remove this, and right here the oil filler plug. My flexible pipe of my oil pump will nicely go in there, and then I'll start pumping oil there. Okay, so my oil drain plug is back now. As you can see, it's back. Now I'm going to remove this one right here, which is the oil level plug, and then start pumping the oil. Okay, so the oil level plug, it uses size 14 millimeter socket. So put that one in, 14 millimeters in, and then in goes your extension, and anti-clockwise, left hand side, and it's out. Now that's out. Now I'm going to put my oil in my oil pump. Okay, so I've filled up a little more than 400 ml oil. Oh, it's 500 but yeah, in my oil pump. Now I'm going to put the clear pipe where it needs to go, and you can start pumping. You stay in there, stay in. And as you can see, this is very easy. You just pump the oil, and then it will start flowing. Once you reach the level, it'll start flowing through here. Now as you can see, you still got some oil to go, and we have an idea when it will start coming out, and which is after 360 mils, so right towards the end of this. And as you can see, it's very simple. You don't need any syringes, you don't need any funnels, or you don't have to create something special to do this. Get the right tools. It costs you some money only once, and then you can keep doing these operations like this yourself. See, the oil is coming out now, so it looks like we've reached our level. That's the maximum. So after this, see, it's right about 360 mils because I put 500 in this one, and it's just leveled out. Okay, so once it stops flowing from here, then oil will then we just put the oil level plug back in and put the fairings back in reverse order, and that's it.